Watch him.
Give me just one day.
Fluent and chill. What it takes, stay real. Chill town, hoop sports, fluent with the feel. Break down sharp like a highlight reel. Welcome to the show, we stay fluent and chill.
Peacock. Yes, sir. I do have Peacock. I just think that, I tried to light it up and it said it has blackout issues, which again goes back to what's the problem with Xfinity. Speaking of blacked out. Hold on. Hang on for a second. Speaking of blacked out, my man will be here in a minute. Yep, my man will be here in a minute. Not sure exactly what's going on, but he'll be here in a second. But yeah, it's blacked out on the app, and it's blacked out. It's blacked out on the app, and it's blacked out on the actual channel. That's super corny. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know exactly what's going on. So trying to get that figured out. But in the meantime, I'm still watching games. And
well, you couldn't hear me?
There he is right there. There he is right there. Speaking of the devil. Mm-hmm.
I invited you to join, and it had somebody else on.
Nope.
It was somebody else. I couldn't figure it out.
Oh no!
And I saw his backyard and his. I have no idea what the hell's going on. What's up, y'all? We're live on YouTube, Chilltown Hoops, and Sports Fluent. I feel like there's a rant, and I don't know which one I want to rant about.
Let's start with the first one. Let's start with the first one.
No. I don't even know. I can't remember. I'm so discombobulated right now that I don't even. So I'm just gonna let you start with whatever you want to start with, and then when it comes to me, I'll go off on a tangent. How about that?
So I want to start the conversation tonight, Tone. We got games going on and we got the playoffs going on, but in the midst of that, awards happen, and the Defensive Player of the Year was awarded yesterday. That was a pretty big deal, and Wemby is the first player in NBA history to be named unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. I personally think that that's a problem, not because he isn't that good. I think he had a phenomenal defensive player. I think he had a phenomenal defensive season. I thought that he was fantastic. I do think that he does have some flaws defensively. Individually, he's got some flaws. I don't think that he's a great drop defender. I think that he does struggle individually as a post defender. I think he's got some issues there. I also think that he can get pushed underneath the basket, which would explain why he doesn't rebound it as good as he can. But with that being said, a lot of that gets supplemented by him being an awesome rim protector. Like he makes up for that. But with him being Tony unanimous Defensive Player of the Year, and I had this conversation earlier, Tony, I think that this is a problem because this is now the bar. And I ran off a bunch of examples. Tony, if you remember, in 2000, Shaq was one vote short of being the unanimous league MVP. He never won the league. He never won the league MVP again after that. James, in 2013, he's one vote short of being unanimous league MVP. Never won it again after that. Steph Curry, unanimous league MVP in 2016. Never won it again after that. I'm saying that to say that when you are the unanimous league MVP, this is now where it is. And that's the standard for you. That's not the standard for everybody else. That's the standard for you. So when somebody else comes along, when Rudy Gobert comes along, when Evan Mobley comes along, Amin Thompson, Cason Wallace, Asor Thompson, when guys like this come along and they have seasons that are awesome for them, the voters look at that and go, that's the Defensive Player of the Year, because Wemby, your bar for Defensive Player of the Year isn't where it was when you were the unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. And now I think that other people, I'm not saying that he's never going to win it again, because I do think that he's going to win it again. I just think that the bar that he is now set, I think it's going to be pretty difficult to maintain that.
Okay, but so let's start. Let's start with the obvious part, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting bombarded with the comments, so I'll ignore the comments for a minute and try to stay focused. One, if you had a vote for Defensive Player of the Year this year, who would you have voted for?
I voted for Rudy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I told you my vote was Wemby. Mm-hmm. So I can't say I would change anything, if all the voters thought like I did, like most people did, I think he was, if not the unanimous, I think the majority of people had it going to Wemby.
Sure.
And so if the majority of people had it going to Wemby, I think it was a surprise that everybody did it. But I don't know how. So in your case, fine, because you had somebody else. But if I had a vote for Wemby, how can I dispute the other 100 people who voted for Wemby? I can't. I don't think it's as big of a deal. One, because I think he will win more. Because if you look at, and I get it, what you're saying with the unanimous, that's the extra curveball in there. But Rudy's won what, 4, 5?
4 of them, sure.
And so he's going to have, I think, more impact on the defensive end as he gets better defensively, because I think we both agree there's room for growth there. As good as he's been, a lot of it has to do with just his freak athleticism / God-given height, length, etc. So he's going to get better defensively.
Sure.
So he'll probably win a couple more. But let's be honest. Do you think he cares about DPOYs, or does he care about what he really wants, which is MVPs and chips?
I do think he cares about Defensive Player of the Year, Tone. The reason why I think he cares
more, I said more.
And here's why I think he cares about Defensive Player of the Year more.
Okay.
I don't. Let me rephrase that. I don't think he cares about it more, but I do think that he cares about it substantially. And here's why I think that, because that's the logic on him. And on top of that, I don't think he thinks he's the best defensive player in the game. He thinks he's the best player in the game on both sides of the basketball. And anybody else who is the Defensive Player of the Year, anybody else who's the league MVP, it's a slap in the face to him. So when he sees Evan Mobley get the Defensive Player of the Year, when he sees Chet Holmgren get the Defensive Player of the Year, that means that in his mind, that means that you think this dude is as good as me as a defender. When somebody else wins the league MVP, when somebody else is, because he's going to win the league MVP at some point, I think. When somebody else wins the league MVP, I think in his mind, he thinks, oh, you think that this guy is better than me. Not he had a better season than me. No, you think he's better than me. No, we got to get to the bottom of that. So I'm not going to say equally, but I think that he cares about being the Defensive Player of the Year, and I think he cares about it a lot.
Okay. I guess we'll find out. But sorry, I'm admittedly doing 2 things at once here, so shame on me. So I think, like I said, I can't argue with the unanimous thing. I was surprised that he won unanimous, because there were some other good candidates there, but
yes,
again, I can't justify to myself saying I don't know how that happened, considering, well, that was my pick 2, right?
That does make sense.
How can I say I don't know how they could have done it, but that was my pick 2.
Tone, what you sound like right now is, remember when Chris Rock said, I ain't saying he should have killed her, but I understand.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. And I say that to ask you, Tone, how much of this, in your estimation, when you watch where Victor Wembanyama is right now and being in year 3 and being the unanimous league MVP, I'm sorry, the unanimous Defensive Player of the Year, Tone, how much of this is the narrative on him than him actually being the best defensive player in the game?
Well, okay, that's the other thing. I don't equate Defensive Player of the Year to best defensive player. And I've told you that many, many times, that I don't think that's the voters' criteria. So I take that out. Like, that's why I struggle. Like, does it coincidentally happen that the Defensive Player of the Year is the best defensive player of the year? Yeah, sometimes. Same with MVP. Is the MVP always the best player in the league? I think we can all agree, even less often than DPOY. DPOY actually has more, and I don't know this, I got to check to see if it coincides, but historically, the Defensive Player of the Year has had a certain level of stocks, okay, steals and blocks that was, high, had the advanced stats that kind of were top 5 in each of those defensive advanced stats categories, and they had a team that was kind of top 3 in defensive rating.
Sure.
So that's been kind of the unwritten criteria of the Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I use this as the example because it's the one that most people talk about. Marc Gasol robbed LeBron James of Defensive Player of the Year. But then you look at it and you say, well, they had the exact same. Their stocks were identical, whatever they were. Then when you looked at the defensive rankings and the advanced stats, Gasol was ahead of him in everything.
Oklahoma City had the best defense in the league that year. I think Miami was 5th in the league defensively that year.
Memphis was 3rd.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Memphis.
But yeah, he had every advanced stat ahead of him.
Yeah.
He had the stock, everything, more defensive. Like he literally beat him in every single category, and it wasn't close in the advanced stats. So I was like, he didn't get robbed. That's how they look at it, because let's be honest. Are the writers watching every single game?
No, they're not.
They're not. So they're relying on a certain level of word of mouth, but also they're looking at statistics. Okay. And then when you get people who say Marc Gasol made no defensive team that year, that's incorrect. He made the all defensive second team, but those were voted by different people. Grant, it was the coaches who voted for that. It happened the year before. No one ever talks about Tyson Chandler winning DPOY the year before and being on the second team all defensive team. So when I look at it historically, again, I haven't checked this year, and I look at it historically, the defensive player of the year, 99% of the time, wins all of those things. So,
yes, he does.
So if statistically Wemby was that, the other thing is if he wasn't, because I said I haven't looked yet, if he wasn't, let's even with Wemby, how many San Antonio games does everybody have an opportunity to see? And it's not high. So they're going to go by reputation. They're going to go by, oh my God, Wemby's such a freak of nature. Wemby, blah, 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 blah. And again, I'm not saying that's right or wrong.
It is wrong, Tone. Yes, it is wrong. And the reason why it's wrong, and here's why it's wrong, Tone, because
it's reality.
Yeah, it's reality, but it's also wrong because to your point, in 2012, 2013, up until that point, the coaches voted for the defensive player of the year. And the reason why they voted was because they were the ones seeing every day. They were voting for the defensive player of the year. They were voting for the they were voting for the all-league defensive team because they were seeing these guys in real time every day. So a guy that's in Houston in 1988 is not knowing that, Jordan, what kind of defense he's playing, even though the box score say Jordan had 5 steals last night and he had 8 rebounds. And on paper, that looks like, damn, Jordan is awesome defensively, even though he's really paying attention to Olajuwon the entire time, because that's who he's focused on the entire time is Hakeem Olajuwon. So in 2013, when the coaches are now voting for the defensive player of the year, they get to see who exactly it is that's the best defensive player in the game every game, because the coach from Toronto or the coach from—
But you keep using that word. You keep saying the best. It's not.
Let me rephrase that.
It's not.
Okay. But see, here's the thing, Tone. The reason why I say the best is because sometimes the best defensive player in the game is the defensive player of the year is the best defensive. I thought James was the best defensive player in the game in 2013. Even though he did not win defensive player of the year, I thought he was the best defensive player in the game. Same thing when we moved to 2022, when Marcus Smart won the defensive player of the year. I thought it was either Rudy or Bam that was the best defensive player in the game at that point. So that when I say the best defensive player, it's attached to the award, but it is sometimes the best defensive player in the game. That's why I'm saying the best defensive player. So the coaches, when in 2013, before this award is moving out to the media, they get to see and they get to decide who is the best defensive player in the game, who's had the most impact defensively on the game, not the writer in San Antonio or the writer in Phoenix who, he's watching a lot of San Antonio games, but you know what else he's doing? He's not watching as much. He's not watching as many Cleveland games. He's not watching as many Golden State games. So he doesn't see how good Draymond still is. He doesn't know how good Amen Thompson still is. He doesn't know how good Ausar Thompson still is. So I think it's a little tricky in that aspect when you put it in the hands of the media, considering they aren't in the action every night.
But that's what it's been. That's what it's always been. So to say, well, I'm not going to go by what the media says. Well, that's who has the vote. That's who has the vote for the DPOY. That's who has the vote for the MVP. That's who has the vote for the Hall of Fame. I don't claim that they get it right all the time. I am confused, however, by I don't know who the hell this person is, but keep saying my Rudy hate. Have you ever heard me hate on Rudy Gobert?
No, I have not.
I don't think I've ever spoken negatively about.
Now remember who we talking about, Tone. Remember the time that we live in. We live in a time where if you are a Laker Tone, you're a Laker fan.
Is it because I voted because I said I would have voted for Wemby? That means
that means you hate Rudy. You don't. It's not that you don't think Rudy is. It's not. Not only do you not think Rudy is an awesome defender, you hate him. You think he's awful.
Okay, I had no idea.
Yes, that's where we live today. We live in that space where if I think that Amen Thompson had a better defensive season than Ausar Thompson, I hate Ausar Thompson. And I don't think Ausar Thompson is that good of a defender, which just isn't true.
I do want to address this. Did Ron get the pizza, Fluent? Well, Ron ain't getting any pizza. Why would Ron get any pizza? Penn is going to get some pizza. Now, here's the thing. Penn said he was going to give the pizza to Ox. Ox was really excited about that. And now Penn's trying to take that back. And so whoever gets the pizza, just you tell me, and I'll send you the pizza. Like I was off by this much on what I said.
Yep.
I thought would happen. I thought the Raptors would be a 500 team, and if they didn't have a 9-game winning streak in the first month of the season,
that was going to happen.
That's what they were. They were 31-31 or whatever it was. They were basically a 500 team after the first month of the season. So they whoever wants it gets their pizza, whether it's Penn or Ox or whoever. Just send me the address or send me order the pizza and send me the bill.
Yep.
However, I also said that Scotty Barnes is not. You know what? Let's do this now. That Scotty Barnes is not a superstar, is not a number one on a championship contending team, and he's not. They tried, Penn tried to compare, and I'm only bringing his name up because apparently I don't even watch the panel, but apparently he was bringing up my name on the panel the other day, so I'm allowed to do this. He tried to compare to Magic freaking Johnson. He's not Magic Johnson.
He said he was a better passer than Scottie Pippen.
He's not Scottie Pippen, and Scottie Pippen wasn't a number one on a championship team, and Scottie Pippen's significantly better than Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes is Lamar Odom with defense. He's Andre Iguodala. Okay, nice player. You want him on your team. He ain't leading you to a championship.
Oh, what's the gap between Scotty Barnes and Scottie Pippen? Like if I'm doing this, what's the
Grand Canyon?
So it's like this.
The Grand Canyon. Do you know the Grand Canyon? Have you been to the Grand Canyon?
I have been to the Grand Canyon before.
That's the gap between Scotty Barnes and Scottie Pippen.
Like it's not close.
Okay, it's not close. Just because they have the same first name doesn't mean anything. Okay. And again, that doesn't mean I hate Scotty Barnes. That doesn't mean he's a bad player. It just means that he is not on their level. Now, does that mean he couldn't get better because he's still very young? Of course. But right now, today, he's not Magic. He's not Pippen. He's Odom. He's Iguodala. That's who he is right now. And once the Raptors get swept, like I said they were, then what? Then you've already got him sitting there going, oh, we told you the Cavs are really a lot better than you thought they were. He's already backpedaling. Oh, how good the Cavs are.
Here's the problem, no, Tone.
The Knicks busted their crap the whole season. The Knicks would have swept them in 3, and it is a 7-game series. They would have swept them in 2.
My question, though, Tone, is it fair to say is it fair to say like you already told me what's the gap between both Scottie Pippen and Scotty Barnes? That's how close is he in today's game? How close is he as an elite forward? And the reason why I'm asking you this is because the data that's shown suggests that he is an elite passer. The data has shown that because that's what we are today, Tone. These aren't enough. This right here is not enough. No, We deal with this, and we deal in data, which I'm cool with. I'm cool with that.
The data tells us that Jokic is a good defender.
That's just not true, and it's just not.
No, but the data shows us.
It does.
So,
it does tell us that.
I think it's a combination. Look, let's be very clear. He's a very good player. He's not a scrub. He's a very good player.
Sure.
He's on a 500 team. So he's a very good player on a bad team. So he does get more opportunities. And I think he's a very good passer. I think he's a very good defensive player. I think he's underrated defensively by most people. But you can't put him in a conversation of guys who are top 10, top 20 all-time players. You can't put him there.
Yeah, I'm not.
You can't put him there. Mm-hmm. It's disrespectful to the game of basketball. And when you look at the forwards, give me your list of top forwards.
So James, Bird, KD.
No. Right now, today.
In today's game. I'm sorry. Just in today's game. So let's see. James at his advanced age. Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant. Like I'm thinking about the better forwards in the game. Kevin Durant. Let's see, forwards. Jalen Williams. Let's see. Wow. I think I Jalen Johnson. We live in a positionless game. Paulo is a fantastic forward. Giannis, of course. Those are the guys that I'm thinking about off the top of my head.
But I think the way that we play basketball now, Kawhi,
Leonard, sure.
There's okay, yeah, is he a top 10 player in the league?
No.
Is he a top 20 player in the league?
Can we have a conversation about him being a top 20 player in the league, Tom? Because again,
I don't think so.
Okay, so when I ran down my All-Pro team, when I ran down my All-Pro team, I actually got Scotty Barnes third team All-Pro. I think he had that kind of season.
You have him as a top 15 player?
He had a top 15 season. That's what I'm saying.
That's not the question I asked you. Is he a top 15 player?
Well, that's the same logic that you bringing me with being the defensive player of the year. Are you the best defensive player in the game if you won the defensive?
That's why I'm purposely asking you
right.
a question. So, is he a top 15 player? Like, if you were to draft, you had every player in the NBA right now as it is, and you were going to draft, would he make your top 15?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Is he top? No. Like, is he better than LeBron? No. Is he better than Luka? No. Is he better than Ant? No. Is he better than KD? No. Is he better than Steph? No. Is he better than? I know I'm going to forget a bunch of people because I'm not good at just off the top of my head doing stuff like you are. Is he better than who? Just give me the number ones on most of the teams.
So let's run it down really quickly, Tone. So Joker, no. SGA, no. Luka, no. Giannis, no. Jason Tatum, no. Donovan Mitchell, no. Anthony Edwards, no. Anthony Davis, even today, Anthony Davis, no. KD, no. Jalen Brunson, no. Let's see, Cat, no. Running down a bunch of different other guys. Kawhi Leonard, no. Jaylen Brown, no. Let's see who else am I forgetting? Because that's 13 guys. That's 13 guys right there.
Yeah. So look again. Nice player.
Yep.
Very good player. But here's the thing. If Luka's the best player on a team, can that team go to the NBA final?
Yes. He's proven that. Yes, sir.
If Anthony Edwards is the best player on your team, can you go to a final or even an Eastern or Western Conference final?
We could go deep into the playoffs with Anthony Edwards as our lead guy. That could happen.
Can you go there with Steph?
Steph Curry has proven that you can still go. Well, not anymore.
Well,
that's the problem. Not anymore.
What about Tatum? Can he be the best player on the championship?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what about Scotty Barnes?
We haven't seen it. Nope.
This so again,
second time in the playoffs.
I'm not saying he couldn't ascend. I'm saying today he's not. He's a guy who hasn't made the playoffs for 4 straight years, and this year's going to get bounced in the first round.
Swept in the first round.
I think he's going to get swept, but okay, maybe they steal one. Maybe they look completely outmatched.
Their biggest problem is in their interior, and it's not Scotty Barnes. That's their biggest problem. Is they don't have a big guy, a legit big guy. Like Mrs. Fluent and I, shout out to Mrs. Fluent, by the way.
We know.
Mrs. Fluent and I told him to move up in the draft and draft the big kid from Memphis.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Adam, you're so smart, Adam. There's been a lot of teams, multiple teams that didn't need a number one, with the exception of the Pistons. Tell me them.
Why are we talking about Chauncey Billups like Chauncey Billups wasn't an all-pro and an all-league defender?
That's okay. That's
What's going on?
The exception of that Pistons team, give me the list of players that didn't have a legit number one that have won a championship. Go ahead.
There are none.
List.
There are none.
Everybody wants to talk. The 2025 Pacers did not win a championship.
That's number one. And number two, they had a legit number one. Tyrese Halliburton. He's a legit number one.
Also better than Scotty Barnes.
What are you doing? He's a legit number one.
They didn't win a championship.
In fact, the way that they played, and what is this RIP Wemby going on? Like what's going on with Wemby?
Concussion.
Okay, so he got hit in the back of the head. What happened to him?
Apparently concussion. He's out for 2 games.
So he's done.
Is there a concussion protocol? Oh, that changes things a lot.
That does change things. So what's the RIP? He's not dead. So don't do that.
No, not RIP.
Yeah, don't do that.
Right?
Don't do that
Lakers?
to me. I will get your ass out of my chat.
Hold on. The 2010 Lakers didn't have a legit number one.
What the hell? Kobe Bryant played there. You goofy?
Are you crazy?
No, that's trolling. That's 100% trolling.
The 2014 Spurs didn't have a real number one. They absolutely did.
Yes, they did.
They absolutely did.
What are you talking about? Tim Duncan was still playing at that level. Just the year before that, he was first team All-Pro. The year before that, in 2013, he was first team All-Pro. So that's just not true. No.
Well, listen, we got 47-44. San Antonio's taking the lead with 3:30 left. And let's see if they can hang on in the second half. If Wemby out, that should be interesting. That should be interesting. All right. So let's go through the awards. Let's go through the awards because that's what we're here to do. I think I can do this.
Yep.
Let me see. So we don't have to go through. I guess we don't have to do this one.
The next one is the Clutch Player of the Year, Tone. That's the next one to be announced.
Okay. So we don't have to. Oh, we don't have to do this one. Hold on.
That's already been announced.
Yeah, we don't have to do this one. So we know the winner of that one. That's Wemby. So we can say goodbye to that one. But it was the first on my queue.
Yep.
You want to do Clutch?
That's the next one that's going to be announced. I thought it was today, but maybe it's tomorrow.
I didn't label these, so they just say image. So I'm going to take this one and guess that it's Clutch because it looks like SGA and yes. Okay, perfect.
Yes, sir.
You got Anthony Edwards, SGA, Jamal Murray, and here's the thing: this one's based on data? We already know that it's SGA.
I think it's SGA. He's got the most clutch points. They have a winning record with him on the floor in the clutch. I think he's been I don't think that of these guys, even though all three of these guys have missed time, and I said this earlier, Tone, all of these guys have all missed time, but I don't think that there's any.
How is Ant a finalist? Is he not disqualified because he didn't play 65 games?
That's a good question. He should not be. Well,
how did he make top 3?
That's a good question. That's a very good question because he's not caught because he actually put in.
He put in an appeal and lost.
So why is he a part of this? That's a good question. I don't know why. That's a very good question. It should have been somebody else.
Then he's going to be out.
Yep. It was really just between him and Jamal Murray.
Which one do you want next?
So I think the Sportsmanship Award is after this one.
I don't know that I have that.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I don't even know who's eligible for it, but I know that the Sportsmanship Award is.
You know what? We're going to the most improved.
The most improved player.
I don't care about sportsmanship. I don't care about sportsmanship.
Highlights. Why doesn't a Clutch Player of the Year need eligibility? Why is that?
Is that what someone's saying?
Yeah, he said that Clutch Player of the Year does not need eligibility. What does that mean? So I need to be eligible to be the league MVP. I need to be eligible to be the defensive player of the year. I need to be eligible to be the most improved, but I don't need to be eligible to be the clutch player of the year, which is probably one of the most important awards, because in the meat and potatoes of the game, who are you relying on the most? You're relying on me. So I don't need to be eligible to be the clutch player of the year. How many games do I need to play to be the clutch player of the year? 10? Is that enough? Is 50 games enough to be the clutch player of the year? What does that mean? I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, I'd like to get clarity. I also Scoot has 17 points and Fluent called him a bum. I said a lot of things apparently. All right, so most improved. We've got your finalists are Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Denny Avdija, and Jalen Duren.
So it's Denny Avdija. Tone. It's Denny Avdija. That's his name.
Yeah.
He came from He came from Washington. They handed him over.
You're telling me how to say how I want to pronounce someone's last name?
No, that's not how you want to pronounce it. That's the way it's pronounced. How about if I called you 10? That's not your name.
Oh, fine.
No, Tone. That's not your name. Your name's not 10. No.
Your last name Braun.
No, that's not the way it works.
Your last name is Braun. It isn't Brown.
No.
So go tell Bruce Brown or whatever the hell his name is from Denver. Your last name is Braun. Get it right. Okay. Denny, what'd you say? Denny what?
It's Denny Advia. That's the way it's pronounced.
Denny Advia?
It's spelled, to your point, the way it's spelled. That's the way it's spelled, but it's the way it's pronounced is Denny Advia. Correct.
Okay, Denny Avije.
Kind of like
Jalen Duren and Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
Why is it?
I'm not calling him Nickel Alexander.
I was about to say that. It looks like it's pronounced Nickel.
Well, okay, fine. No,
but I can't call him that because that's not the way. That's not his name. No,
it's Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jalen Duren, Denny Advije.
So, Tone, you and I have had extensive discussion about what the most improved player is throughout the course of time. The majority of most improved players, their scoring average goes up 5 points. I think Denny Avia, because this is who I had. Of these three guys, this is who I had. I think his scoring average went up 8 points. That's number one. Number two, he made I think he's going to make the All-Pro team. He's made the All-Star team this year. He has been one of the better clutch players in the game. This Portland Trailblazer team, I can't say that, the most improved player is because your team made the playoffs. Well, there's players who won most improved and the team didn't make the playoffs. So that's not a huge impact, right? But the thing that I'm thinking is how much did you improve as an overall player? Not necessarily what did you do for your unit. How much did you improve as an overall player? Yeah. Became a much better driver this season. Not only a much better driver, a much better bucket getter, a lot stronger than what I saw. Much better scorer. I do have to give Denny Advia a lot of credit for his ability to defend. When he was in Washington, nobody was really paying attention to him, not only as a defender, but overall. He ends up going to Portland now, playing with guys like Toumani Camara and Jrue Holiday. He's looked like a much better defender. He's a lot more versatile than he was in the past. I think he's the most improved player this year. Even though these other two guys have had phenomenal seasons.
So I 100% want to give it to Jalen Duren because I love that I'm my Laker fans are going to yell at me because how much I like the Detroit Pistons and how often I go watch the Detroit Pistons. I like going to Detroit. I believe Nickeil Alexander-Walker absolutely deserves it. However, there was 2 reasons this year that I watched more Portland Trailblazer basketball than I probably would have. One, as you know, I made a bet with Trista Crick about their defense, and I said, "There's no way they're finishing top 10 in defensive rating." She said, "Put it on wax. They're doing it." We made a bet. She owes me $100 million, and I said, "So I'm going to watch it to see. Like, am I nuts? Like, she's so sure." So I said, "Okay, fine." And then Jalen Carter, not Jalen Duren, was like, Denny's going to be most improved. Denny's going to be most improved. I guarantee you Denny's going to be most improved. So I said, fine, let's watch Denny Advia and see what he can do. Did I say it right?
That's correct.
Okay. And I think it's, as much as I'd rather give it to either one of the other two guys, Denny's the guy. I think he wins it, and I think he wins it going away because I think all the voters agree that he's going to be the one.
Now, remember, Tone, like we talked about.
I only talked to 3 of the 100.
Yeah.
But those 3 have all said, so I don't think he's getting 100%. But all 3 of them said Denny as well. So,
I mean, to my point about these players, like your scoring average going up, and Tone, you can fact check this if you'd like. I think that Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I think he averaged like 9 a game last year in Minnesota, 8 or 9 a game. He averaged 20 in Atlanta. So with him doing that, I mean, I think that's a huge deal. And this goes back to what you and I got into this discussion about. And this was, I want to say last year, Tone, when you and I were talking about the difference in the most improved player when it was Tyrese Maxey and it was Kobe White when he was with Chicago. The very definition of most improved, how much better you got from this season to this season. And Kobe White had done that, considering his scoring average had almost doubled Same logic with Nikola Alexander Walker. His scoring average doubled from last season. Denny Avdija is, like I said, I think it went up. If I'm again, you can fact check me, Tony. I think it went up like 8 points, 7 or 8 points, which is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Which is
100%.
Which is a big deal. But I just think that Denny Avdija just did more.
Kevin Durant officially playing tonight.
KD's going. All righty.
So KD's a go. Still won't matter. My Lakers and the glorious King.
LeBron James.
My glorious King. Will be taking a 2-0 lead. I keep that handy just in case. All right, next award is another one where I think I know who I want to pick, but I know who's going to win it.
Uh-oh.
So we've got the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And VJ Edgecombe, Cooper Flag, Con Knipple. And I think when the season started, I think everybody just said, okay, it's going to be Cooper.
Mm-hmm. Tone, this sounds like an arranged marriage. That's what this sounds like. Like, I know who I want to marry, but this is who I'm probably going to have to marry. That's what this sounds like right now.
I would think that I don't think expectations matter in Rookie of the Year. So I think it's going to go to Cooper Flag.
Yep.
But if I ranked them, it would have been like 1 being the highest expectations and 10 being the lowest. Cooper Flag 1, VJ Edgecombe 3, Con Knipple 172.
Yeah, he was not on my bingo card for
so him playing the way that he played, breaking a Steph Curry 3-point shooting record at any point in your career is ridiculous. Like Charlotte was relevant this season, and a lot of it had to do with obviously people being healthy, but this rookie. And so it's just like I wish he would win because he was that oh my god rookie.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you can deny Cooper Flag just is going to run away with this award.
Tone, do you care about what's going on in Charlotte now?
I've always cared because I feel like they're one Greek fluent GM away from being successful.
Oh, that's the only reason why you invested in them. For that reason right there, Tone, because you want the job. You want to run things.
Yeah, because it's a nice it's a nice place to live too.
Other than that,
no.
And what's going on in Charlotte?
No.
This guy has now made it interesting in Charlotte. Yeah. He has now made it so, you know what? I got to turn on a Charlotte game because of this guy.
Yeah.
Now, before the season started, I had Coop, and I did not Con Knipple. This is no disrespect to you, but I thought that he was a better version of Luke Kennard. He was not on my bingo card. I thought he was just a shooter. I did not know he could put the ball on the floor like that. I did not know he could affect the game like that. It was my actual Rookie of the Year, Tone, was Trey Johnson in Washington. That's who I thought was going to win it because I thought that he was one of the best sharpshooters that the league had ever seen coming in. Then it was Cooper, and then it was this kid VJ. I did not have Con Knipple. So I think the award, I think the award is going to end up going Coop at 1. It's going to be Knipple at 2 and VJ Edgecombe at 3. And folks, so you know, don't get wrapped up in, well, Charlotte made the playoffs. And Tone, you can fact check this for me too, just in case I get this wrong. From 1990 to 1999, of the nine rookies of the year, only 7 of them made the playoffs. In 2000, from 2000 to 2009, of those 9 rookies, I think 6 of them made the playoffs. 6 of them missed the playoffs. Just like in 2000, just like from in 1990 to 1999, those 7 guys who won Rookie of the Year, of those 9 guys who won Rookie of the Year, 7 of them missed the playoffs. From 2010 to 2019, I think it was 6 guys of those 9 guys missed the playoffs. So the Rookie of the Year, the playoffs does not matter.
I don't think Rookie of the Year matters. I actually thought it was going to be Edgecombe. And the reason I thought that is because I knew that, you know, Philadelphia coming off a horrible season. You got Maxey. I wasn't expecting. I didn't even think Paul George even was going to be there, and Embiid is a shell of his former self. So I thought, oh, he's going to have an opportunity on a team that isn't horrible, right? Like Washington, I thought was going to be horrible. So I know that they don't care about wins and losses, but I just thought, it's not going to be they're not going to pay attention to Washington.
Sure.
So I thought Edgecombe, and everyone's like, well, why not Cooper? I thought because I thought if healthy, Anthony Davis, I'm going to forget the name of the center that I love there, but PJ Washington. No.
Oh, you're talking about in Charlotte?
I'm talking about in Dallas. Okay. In Dallas, and I thought that team with Anthony Davis. Tell me the center's name because I always forget him. PJ Washington, Derek Lively. Excuse me, Blake Lively. Mm-hmm. Cute, but no, Derek Lively. No, the other one who they traded for halfway through the season.
Yeah, Washington.
Why am I drawing? I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah. Why am I drawing a
Daniel Gafford? I thought they had a legit playoff team if healthy. And then I thought Kyrie might get healthy and come back about halfway through the season. I thought, okay, this team's going to be better than we think, which won't give him Cooper as much opportunity, right? Because that's the thing about the rookies. Rookies go into a thing, and if they're not going to get, you always say this. If Carmelo Anthony went to Detroit, and I think it would have been brilliant, you would have been like, nah, he wouldn't have got any playing time under Larry Brown. And then he would have had he wouldn't have been the same guy in the rookie year. Mm-hmm. So that's where I thought Cooper was going to be, where he was going to be on a good team. But obviously, a bunch of injuries. That team collapses. Like they trade Anthony Davis, and he's gotten a huge opportunity. So I think there's no. Again, Con was not to steal your line. Con was not on my bingo card. And so I think this is another one where Cooper just runs away with it.
Tone, on a scale from 1 to 10, how bad did you have Washington?
I had them in Charlotte. Being like 20-win teams.
I had Charlotte win 25 games this season.
There you go.
I did.
27 teams.
The flip side to that is, and I can admit when I'm wrong, I had Dallas in the West Finals. That's what I thought they were going to be that good with Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg and Lively.
The reality is they should have been that
good. Gafford. I thought they were going to be that good. I get Kyrie Irving back by after the All-Star break. I thought they were going to be that good this year. No.
I thought this. I think because I thought like this was going to be the Anthony Davis redemption tour. But hey, I was wrong, and he's finished. To sixth man of the year, we've got our friend Tim Hardaway Jr., Triple J, the what is it? The Spanish. What's his name?
Jaime Jaquez.
Jaime Jaquez.
You call it the Mexican
Spanish John Wick. Thank you, Fluent Jr. in the clutch. The Spanish John Wick and Keldon Johnson.
Yeah.
So sixth man of the year.
I think as good as Tim Hardaway has been as a sharpshooter coming off the bench, which I think he's been great, and Keldon Johnson has been nothing short of fantastic as a rotation player coming off the bench. The fact that Miami played with one of the fastest paces in the league, I don't think anybody benefited more from that than Jaime Jaquez. He was the best rotation player in the game this year. Nobody came off the bench and was getting more buckets than him. Nobody played in terms of the minutes that he played and was as productive as Jaime Jaquez. Yes, I think he wins the sixth man of the year this season. And to be honest with you, like you talked about with SGA, like you talked about with SGA, Tone, I think Jaime Jaquez wins this going away. I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close.
You said like clutch.
Yeah.
I my vote is Tim Hardaway Jr. I think his like you said, his shooting off the bench really gave, like, don't get me wrong, Denver still struggles when Jokic comes off the court. That's I think it will just be forever. But I think he gave that second unit something that they had been lacking in the past. So he'd be my pick, but I think I'm with you. I think Jaime wins it. I think it's gonna be closer than you think. I think Keldon Johnson, although he kind of tailed off at the tail end of the season,
that's why I think
he's still going to get a lot of votes because people made up their mind and they just like, oh, it's gonna be it's his, and they're going to kind of go away from it.
Well, let me ask you this though, Tone, because that's the same thing that happened. Excuse me, that's the same thing that happened. I want to say two seasons ago when Nas Reed won it and he won it over Malik Monk. We basically had a photo finish for like the last month of the season, coming up to the last month of the season. And then Malik Monk ends up getting hurt, and this kid Naz Reid ends up running away with it. And with him and with Malik Monk ending up getting hurt, like the voting went like this. Like it was this for quite a while. And I thought Malik Monk had a really legit shot at winning the Sixth Man of the Year. But when he got hurt, it just went, it's like running a 100-meter dash.
Yeah.
And at the 80 meters, Malik Monk blew a tire and he just ran away from him.
I think for those paying attention, they'll switch their vote, but there's some who probably weren't paying as close attention as they should have. And they'll still, I guarantee you're going to be surprised by how many votes he gets. And that's the only reason Spanish John Wick here doesn't win it like you think, kind of running away.
Going away. I do think he's going to win it going away. Yep.
All right. We got two more. We're going to go to Coach of the Year, which I have very, 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 very strong feelings about. I don't know if you do or not. So I'm going to let you go, and then I'll tell you because I have very, 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 very strong feelings about this.
So of these three guys, there's two that I had not high expectations, but I had expectations for. I thought the Detroit Pistons were going to be a top 5 seed this season.
Top 5?
I thought they were going to. Before the season started, I had
not
Cleveland,
top 2, not top 3.
I had Cleveland at the top. I had the Knicks behind them. I had Orlando. I had Atlanta, and I had Detroit. Those are my 5. Those are my 5 seeds in the East. JB Bick. I keep wanting to call him Bernie Bickerstaff. Just so you guys know, Bernie Bickerstaff used to coach the Seattle SuperSonics when they had Gary Payton and Sean Kidd. Yeah, that's his father. Just so you guys know, JB Bickerstaff, that's his father, Bernie Bickerstaff. So I apologize. That's not his name. His name's JB Bickerstaff. Anyway, so he's done nothing short of a fantastic job. I think that they made a mistake in Cleveland when they bailed on him because I thought that he was a great coach.
Yep.
And I think that he went into Detroit and he changed the culture of that group. And the fact that he had that kind of turnaround, because this dude, ladies and gentlemen, sitting right here to my right on TikTok and sitting to my left here on YouTube, told me.
I'm on top here on the bottom.
Okay, so he's right here on the top on YouTube, and to my right over here on YouTube, told me when I thought the Detroit Pistons were going to drop 40 straight games, he told me that Toronto was going to throw a monkey wrench in this.
Yeah.
He told me that. He told me that Toronto was going to throw a monkey wrench in that. And 100% they did throw a monkey wrench in it. So now JB Bickerstaff comes in and he completely turns around the culture of that group. And now they turn into winners. So I give him a lot of respect with that. Mitch Johnson, I thought that the San Antonio Spurs were going to be a bona fide playoff team this year. I did not think that they were going to be a top 2 seed. I'd be lying to you, Tony, if I said that I thought they were going to be that good. I didn't have those kind of expectations for them. But I think that he's done a phenomenal job with that group. I think that Castle has developed into a phenomenal defender. I think Devin Vassell also has turned into a great player. And the confidence that he's instilled in this kid Harper is great. But none of these guys, I think, have done the job that Joe Mazzulla did. All of those guys that are on that roster were on the roster last year, and they were rotation guys. They were fill-ins. When you lose 4 of your 5 starters on a team that was picked to win the championship, and now Luka Garza, in addition to Luka Garza, Jordan Walsh, and Peyton Pritchard, to run down a few of these guys, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Derek White, when you lose 4 of your 5 starters and now these guys have to come in and fill in, Tone, I thought this was a gap year. What's going on in Indiana, I thought that would be going on in Boston. And I thought that we were going to have a gap year. If they did make the playoffs, they were going to be like Charlotte, where they were at the bottom of the play-in tournament, like 9-10, and they could possibly play their way in. I did not have them at the top of the Eastern Conference. I think Joe Mazzulla has done the best job of any coach in the league, and I think he wins Coach of the Year this year.
Okay, first of all, Isaac, if you want to come on with a super hot take that you say, you got to come to Sports Fluent or Chilltown Hoops YouTube, and I'll send you the link and you can come on, or you can just put your hot take here in the TikTok comments and I will read it. That being said, I'm gonna go in the same order because I'm getting to the same conclusion just a little bit more emphatically. JB Bickerstaff, I had Detroit being, as you recall, being the number 1 seed, so he did what I expected him to do. So awesome. That's still definitely, when you finish first in your conference, that is definitely Coach of the Year conversation worthy. So I'm not mad that he's a finalist. Mitch Johnson, I had them being a top 3 seed in the West. the Spurs, and everyone said I was crazy. Well, it's also a reason to be Coach of the Year finalist. But there's no way, no how, no chance that anyone other than me, because not even the Boston Celtics fans that I spoke to said that the Celtics were going to be good. Okay, I will stand on it, and you know this for a fact. I'm the only one who said Boston's going to be good. Stop counting out Boston at the beginning of the season, not when they were good. In the summer, okay? In the summer, Boston's going to be good. Stop talking about them. Jason Tatum's going to come back.
You did say that.
Or whatever through the season because they're going to be so good. I said all of this. He's going to come back and they're going to make a run. So I'm not surprised that it's Joe Mazzulla, but everybody else should be, and that's why he should win it running away, because the expectations were, oh, this is Boston's lottery pick year. They're going to tank. They got rid of Tatum is hurt. They got rid of Porzingis. They got rid of Holiday. They got rid of everybody's Horford. They don't need that veteran presence because they're going to tank, get a high draft pick, add him on a rookie contract, whoever they get at a high pick to Tatum and Brown, and off they go. And I said, whoa, Kimosabi, not so fast. And guess what? I was right. But I'm the only one that was right because everybody else, this is why I know it should be Joe Mazzulla, because everybody, including you, told me I was crazy.
I thought you were nuts, Tom.
And that's the Coach of the Year. If you thought this was going to be, what up, Mark? If you thought this was going to be a lottery team and he had them at the 2 seed?
Yes. And they've been the 2 seed for the majority of the season, too, by the way, Tom.
No, yeah. They went on a run when Tatum came back. They were there the whole time.
Yeah.
And they probably look, now that we're watching, like maybe the strongest team in the East right now. After
they got blown out by Philly tonight, too.
Well, of course, but that's going to happen. But they didn't lose game 1 like Detroit, where you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
The number 1 seed, the law. And again, the playoffs don't matter. They shouldn't matter. I know that people argue, but this is a regular season award. Joe Mazzulla's he should be. If anyone was unanimous, it should be Joe Mazzulla.
To be honest with you, Tom, I mean, the reason why he wouldn't be is because of the job that JB Bickerstaff has done and the job that Mitch Johnson has done, and the fact that Wemby was in and out of the lineup, the fact that De'Aaron Fox wasn't prepared to play early in the season, and then with him not being able to play early in the season, he had to go with the rook. And the job that he did for this crew it's been nothing short of fantastic. But again, to your point, Tone, and I'm going to land the plane here. I did not have the Boston Celtics at the top of the Eastern Conference. I thought that they were going to be bad. And you told me in September, chill, Jay, the Boston Celtics are going to be good this year. And I was almost ready to bet you something that I probably couldn't even afford. That's how confident I was.
Oh, I wish you would have made that bet. I would have.
Yes, I was probably willing. I was close to betting you something that I'm not sure that I could afford, because that's how confident I was that Boston was going to be whacked. No. I would have lost too.
Would I've got your car?
You might have got something like that, Tone. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You might have got it.
When I was driving next to you up the, what is it? The I-90? What is it that we were taking from Miami
95. Yes, sir. 95.
95? I was like, I saw you. I was like, oh, that's a nice little. All right. Yeah, I shouldn't say we were racing. I mean, we were just driving regular.
We were not racing, lady.
We were not
going on. No, that was not.
I was in a rental. All right. MVP.
Oh, boy. Mm-hmm. Tone, I'm going to get right to the meat and potatoes of this. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Jump in.
I think it's SGA. And I don't think it's him going away, but I think it's him by a comfortable margin. I don't think there's anybody who's answered the bell, who's delivered as much as he has, and who's been more consistent this season, period. I think it's SGA. And I'm going to go even further than that, Tone. He wins it this year, he's going to win it again next year, too.
You got him 3-peating.
He's going to win it again next year, too. I'm saying it.
I think that Jokić has done himself a disservice. I think Jokić has made the extraordinary ordinary.
He has done that. Yes, I can get with that.
And it is a damn shame, because he should have already won more. It shouldn't have been Embiid. It should have been him. and he should win this year. And guess what? He's going to finish third. He's going to finish third. And it's because he's made the extraordinary ordinary. And people are going to say whatever's happening now in the first couple of games in the playoffs and it doesn't matter. It's a regular season award. And I think it should be Jokic, but he's going to finish third. And and SGA, listen, let me start by saying SGA is going to win it. You're right. SGA is going to win it. However, I'm a businessman, and I always put my business ahead of anything else.
Sure.
And if I was the NBA and I was a businessman, which I am, let me ask you this. What player was the most viewed player in the NBA this season?
Well, it wasn't Curry because Curry didn't play that much. So who were they watching the most?
Most, yes.
I'm going to say SGA.
LeBron James.
Oh, of course.
Incorrect. It was still the glorious King, LeBron James.
Interesting.
Who does not have much time left on this earth. You know who was second?
You mean as an NBA player, he doesn't have much time left. His
Yes,
NBA
yes.
life, his NBA life is about to end.
Yes,
Yeah.
not like on.
No, that's not what he means, ladies and gentlemen. No, he means
he's going to die. I mean,
no, as
his
an
NBA
NBA
life
player,
on
the clock
NBA
is ticking.
yes,
That's
the
what he
clock
means.
tick. Yes.
Yeah, his basketball life is about
My
to end.
apologies if that sounded anything else other than that.
Yes.
You know who was second?
Jokic.
Victor Wembanyama.
Wow.
So if he is the unanimous MVP, the unanimous Defensive Player of the Year,
Sure.
the second most watched player in the NBA, and we are a business, okay? Forget everything else. We're just talking about narratives and making money. He is the second, and he's global.
Sure.
It's not just Americans watching him. In fact, it's probably not. It's probably mostly globally. He's a global phenomenon. He's a freak of nature. He's got this dislikable personality that you either love him because he's such a freak of nature as an athlete, or you hate him. I've talked to people who don't watch basketball as much, and they say, "Oh, I hate that guy," and perfect.
That's
great.
That's
great.
That's great.
Yes. LeBron cannot carry this league anymore. He just can't. He's 75 years old. He can't. So you have an opportunity, NBA. I know you're going to blow it, but you have an opportunity to have the second most watched player, the freak of nature, the guy that no one will see walking down the street and be like, is that him? Nope, that's him. There's going to be no question about it. And they're serving it to you right there, boom, on a silver platter. So here's your next face of the franchise. Here you go. Give it to him. Not only give him DPOY unanimous, give him MVP. You know what? Find a way to get him into the finals. Find a way to get, because listen,
figure it out.
We all know it's not 100% unshady. I'm not saying it's shady. Find a way to get him into the finals. In fact, find a way to let him win and get him a DPOY MVP and finals MVP, which hasn't been done since what, 94? Hakeem, the only one to ever do it?
32 years ago.
You just gave the NBA a villain.
Tone, how confident are you?
A villain, and he's in San Antonio, and he wears black and silver anyways, just like the damn hated Oakland Raiders of old.
On a scale from 1 to 10.
And you give him everything. I agreed too early. You give him everything and make everyone love him. Michelle Beadle is on cloud 9, and let everybody else hate him like they hated Tom Brady and the Patriots. And you'll be swimming in money. You're already going to get a $20 billion boost with Vegas and Seattle coming back because they have to pay $10 billion to get a franchise. You're going to be swimming in money. And then you would have, just think about this, San Antonio Spurs, Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, Finals MVP, defending his title as the king does his farewell tour in Cleveland. But hold on a minute.
Hang on.
Victor the whole time is saying, why is he even doing that? Tell the old man to get in his rocking chair and leave this damn league. This is my league now. The drama, the suspense, it's basically writing itself.
I don't hate it. I really don't.
It's because it's brilliant.
The reason why I can't say I hate it, but with everything that you just said, Tone, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being you nailed it, 1 being awful, tell me how the NBA is going to blow this.
Oh, how they're going to blow it? Easy.
How they're going to blow this?
It's easy. SGA is going to win the MVP. Okay. Then they're going to get a top 5 pick. Thank you, LA dummies. I mean, Buffalo Braves. I mean, Clippers. Okay. They're going to get another top 5. So now they're going to go from 13 deep to like 14 deep.
Or like 40, actually.
Because we got like deep, right?
Because we got 6 first-round draft picks over like the next 5 more years or some nonsense like that.
They just let someone bang Wemby in the head. So he's gone for a couple of days. So the Spurs get knocked out in the first round. It's just it's going to collapse.
At any time.
And actually, what's going to happen is OKC is going to probably win back-to-back chips.
Jeez Louise. Folks, TikTok world, you know what time it is when you see us, right? That right there, that's him. That's my man, Fluent. Chill. That's me. You know what time it is when you see us. Every Tuesday night, we are right here on TikTok, me and my man, Tony Tone. We will see you guys soon. You know where to catch us at. If we're not here, we're on tomorrow. Come back tomorrow right here to the Sports Fluent Network, right here on YouTube. We do a great debate show. Me and my man, Tony Tone, we get it on. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. We'll talk to you soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys tonight. This was dope. No doubt about it.
How much trouble do you think I'm going to get in on YouTube? I just had to check on the score.
I don't think so.
Okay, let me take it off. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we're gonna get in a lot of trouble. No, I don't think so. Not tonight. We won't.
This is I don't know if you noticed. We're still on live on YouTube, by the way.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
For those that are here,
we're still here.
So I had the score down here. It's 60. There's other ways of doing it, but I thought this was the easiest way because I have it on 2 screens. So you can't watch this game?
No, I can't because we have blackout issues down here. With they got a thing with NBC going on with Xfinity. NBC is blacked out. I could watch it on Prime. I could watch it on ABC, and I could watch it on ESPN. I just can't watch it on NBC, which sucks because like the Lakers and Houston are on tonight. I'm gonna be able to watch it tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna have to get up early to watch it tomorrow morning and watch the replay.
I was gonna end the stream and just leave it like this for you, and you go, wow.
That would be dope. Yes.
Okay. We went to the game and then we left.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's it. That's all. We're done. You all right?
Yes, sir. We are. You guys know what time it is when you see us. This is me and that right there. That's Fluent. That's him right there. Chill. That's me. Absolutely. We do this every Tuesday night right here on the Sports Fluent Network and on the Chilltown Hoops Network right here on YouTube. If you can't catch us here, you can catch us tomorrow night, 8:30, right here again on the Sports Fluent Network and on the Chilltown Hoops Network. We do a great debate show, me and my man, Tony Tone. It's Fluent and Chill versus the world. So we will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. Talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It's good to see you guys tonight. This was dope.
Stay tuned to Sports Fluent. We're doing the NFL draft, all the quarterbacks. Me and Jeremy Nunez.
I'm tuning into that.
It's wrong, by the way.
I'm tuning into that.
66.
Later.
Thanks for watching Fluent and Chill. Don't forget to like and subscribe every Tuesday at 8 p.m.